Before getting started, make sure that everything's filled up. Make sure that the fuel tank for the jet wash unit is filled up. Also make sure that the tank of the water is filled up. There's two main ways to do this. This fill hose here, which fills directly into the tank. You attach that to an outlet, turn it on, make sure that this is open, and that will go straight into the tank. We've also got a bumper port down the bottom, which you can again plug straight into a tap outlet. There is also a third way you can fill the tank. You can open the large screw cap at the top and fill directly from a fire hydrant or from a spotless water station if needed. When it comes to using the fill hose, make sure that you release the latch on the side and then you can pull it out, attach it straight to an outlet. Make sure that the valve is open, otherwise the water will not come in. When you finish filling up, close this and it will stop drips going in the back of the van. While the tank is filling up for window cleaning and jet washing use, we'll just quickly go over how to use the window cleaning section. So these two controllers, operator 1 and operator 2, which can both be done at the same time. These are powered by the leisure batteries that are mounted down there, so you don't need to have the van running or you don't need to have anything else running. They can run completely independently of everything else. To get going with it, it is as simple as turning on and you'll see flow section where it will come up with whatever the flow is of the pumps operating down here. When you're window cleaning, it's best to operate between 30 and 50. If you've got a first clean or it's really dirty or you're cleaning cladding, you want to go up to between 60 and 90. You rarely need to go to 100, but if you're finding that it's difficult to get rid of some of the more contaminated surfaces or windows, that's when you want to have higher water flow. Obviously when you have higher water flow, you run out of the tank quicker, so if you can, use less, but in some instances you will need a higher water flow. The other thing to keep an eye on is the ppm monitor, parts per million monitor, which is the amount of particles in the water. If this is showing a high ppm, that's when you'll see streaks being left on the window. So it's always best to keep an eye on this every week or so, or every time you're using it even, just to make sure that the ppm isn't too high. And a high ppm is anything higher than 50. These DI filters down here, they're going to be what's taking all the dirt and the parts out of the water. If the resin has been overused, which can happen in hard water areas, that's when you'll see the ppm starting to creep up. So always keep an eye on this, and to operate it, just turn it on and it will tell you the ppm. Here in the side is where we have the thermo mounted. This is the water heater for just the window cleaning. The window cleaning heater and the jet washing heater are completely independent systems, so one doesn't link to the other. When you want to use this is when it's heavily contaminated fascia, cladding, where there's lots of green algae on the side. That's when you want to have the temperature right up. Similar when you've got a window that's a first clean, hasn't been cleaned in years and it's covered in green or it's covered in dirt. The heat will allow you to get rid of the dirt a lot quicker and be a lot more efficient. In the winter, it's best to use just the warm feature. If the water's too hot on the cold windows, there can be issues of cracking, so it's always best to take precaution and put it on the warm feature. In the summer months, that's when you can use the hot either on windows or on fascia. Obviously in the winter months, if you want to use the hot on fascia, you don't have the same issue with cracking, so that's fine. In order to turn it on, you click power on. Only when the controller is turned on will the thermo kick in. In the colder months, if the water drops below 2 degrees in this tank, the thermo will kick in automatically to circulate water around, just to stop any freezing. It will circulate it around the pipe so that in the morning it's completely ready to go. If you come to your van in the morning and see steam or what appears to be smoke coming out the bottom, your van's not on fire, it's just that this has kicked in. It means that you're ready to go in the morning. In terms of maintenance on the thermo, we've got the coolant tank at the top. Always keep an eye on this to make sure that there's enough coolant in there. The actual fuel source for this comes from the van fuel tank, so you don't need to worry about topping it up with any fuel, but just always make sure that the coolant is topped up to preserve it and make sure it lasts as long as possible. I'm setting up the window cleaning feature. You need to make sure you have one of these. So this will plug directly into the bumper port at the back. This will then plug into the hose reel, or you can use one of the adapters and then you can plug the pole directly into here. This obviously has longer reach when you're plugging it into the hose reel. So all you do is you plug it in down the back. Make sure you remember which one it is, operator 1, plug it into here. When it comes to using the pole, make sure all the hose reel is released and then set it down, and you want to make sure that the quick fit release plugs straight into the end of the hose reel. Before you can operate the window cleaning system from the bumper ports at the back, make sure that the valves are open. So at the top, that's valve for operator 1. At the bottom, that's the valve for operator 2. If you're finding that there's no flow or the controller is showing up an error message, it may well be that there's no flow allowed due to those valves being shut. The reason you want those valves shut is if you're traveling along, the speed can force the water out through the back. It's only a dribble, but it is water coming out the back of your van at the end of the day. So when you're finished, shut the valves off, and then when you're ready to use, just make sure they open up again. When you're ready to start window cleaning, make sure that you have plenty of hose and plenty of line around you. The last thing you want is to keep going back to the van to pull out more hose, so always make sure that you've got plenty around you. Once you've got it fired up and going, you've connected it all up, you've turned the pump on, this is when you can start to extend the poles. Little tip, always make sure that you start at the top Otherwise, if you start at the bottom, you'll find that you can't access the ones at the top because they're already extended out. When you get to the change of colour, that means that you've gone too far. So push it in an inch or so, release it. If you're finding that the poles aren't clamping on as they should be, tighten these little clamps here, and that will make sure that it's as tight as it needs to be and it won't rotate when you're up there or start to come down. The purple hose is what feeds up through the pole. Make sure that there's plenty of that and it's not clogged so that it doesn't stop you elevating the pole. Make sure that you're standing a good few feet away so that it's not directly above you. This stops water coming directly on top of you, and it also means that you can get a bit of pressure onto the actual brush as well. When it comes to window cleaning, a few tips. Make sure you start on the white edges to clean off the white PVC. This makes sure that any dirt that is around the edge that is dripping onto your windows is then cleaned off before you start to clean the windows themselves. Once you've done that, you can go over the windows themselves, give them a good clean. Make sure that you apply lots of pressure, work methodically. When you've done that, just brush up into the edges to get rid of any other extra dirt that could be hiding in the seals, and then rinse off, and that's how you clean the windows. When it comes to putting everything away, an important thing to remember is to not put the brush directly face down onto the ground. This is when it can pick up dirt, grit, gravel, and that's when it can start to scratch the windows in some cases. Always make sure that your brush doesn't contain any of this before you get started, but a good way to stop that happening in the first place is to not put the brush face down onto the ground. Now that I've finished with the fill hose reel, it's time to pull it back in. It's important to note here that you need to make sure that it's even and universal across, otherwise you'll get high points which will jam it up. Once you're finished, pull the lever over,